Okay. So here, what I did is, there was another command as a select command. So on the whole data adapter will have four commands: select command, insert command, update command, delete command. Four commands. So let's go to design part. Now I'm going to add some more buttons now. Some more buttons. Now what I want to do is I input my name and salary here in text boxes, and that data you have to add it to data set. And by clicking on to update changes, will transfer to database. Here, input data in text boxes. It will then transfer data to dataset. From dataset, transfer data to database. So to do all this stuff, we are going to add some more buttons now. Okay, let's add them. So go to toolbox. Here, go to toolbox. Place a button set with the text as add on it. Toolbox, place a button. Here, we'll name, go to properties. I'll call add to dataset. Add to dataset. Okay, that is the button. Name, properties. Here I'll give btn add to ds dataset. Okay. Now what you do? Double click on the button. Yes. First, what you have to do, create one blank row. Save this. Here I already created a button. Now what did I ask? I asked you to create blank row. Data row. dr equals to dt dot new row. Yes, this will create one blank row. Now you want values from text boxes. So dr of emp name is equals to txt emp name dot text. Dr of emp salary is equals to txt emp salary dot text. After that, you can say dt dot rows collection add data row. That's it. So first blank row in data table referring to object called dr. Dr will have reference of all columns that are there in the query. So I use name and salary. And then we want that row to be added to data table. With what? Rows collection. That's it. Simple. 4 lines code. If I run this code now, let's see. Where do you put your data now? It should be a part of your text boxes. Okay, here you input data now. Here, the data what I give is some name, some salary. Add to data set. Yes, added. And we already know update changes. Okay. Okay. There's a lot disturbance today in the network here. Anyways, so I added a record now. Here it is to add it to data set. So we know already update changes that will update your database. So I don't want to do that. Now let's go for updation also. Update where into data set. So I have to place another button now. Go to toolbox, place a button, right click properties, text, then I say update to data set. I'll just write in shortcut DS. Name, go to properties, btn update DS. Double click on the button. Now we are talking about updation in database. So already yesterday I said about select command, same thing I'll write. Data row dr equal to dt dot select emp id equals to concatenate cmb emp id dot text and should be index 0. Assign your value. Dr of emp name is equals to txt emp name dot text. Dr of emp salary equal to txt emp salary dot text. Okay. This is about updation. Updation to what? Data set. Execute the code. Click all. These are your commands. I'll just comment them. Otherwise, every time you'll get them. I'll select something like 7. Okay. I'll change this. Fayaz is there. That I'm changing to Fawaz. Salary, I'll give 7777. Update to data set. Yes, updated. And click on update changes. This will update to data. Okay. Same way. Now deletion. Another logic. So again, toolbox. Place a button. I'll increase this. Okay, here I'll keep. Go to properties. Text. Delete from DS dataset. Then button. BTN Dell dataset. Double click on the button. This line, same. This line, same it is. No change. What do you want to do? You want to delete now? Direct method we have. Delete. Over. It will delete the row. When row is deleted, you want that combo box value to also be removed now. Combo box value. So that part I'll see. CMB EMP ID dot item dot remove ID. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Sorry, sir.
Yes,
No.
sir. Can hear.
Okay. Okay. So just for deletion, we retrieve the data using select statement. Data row will be stored into dr. This is to remove the value from combo box. Dr.delete. Save. Run the code. This is to delete data from where data set. Select the value 5. Delete from data set. This record should be removed now. Gone. If update changes, then it will update database also. However, we don't want to do that. Okay. Now important. Remember, especially now I'm not doing the operation into dataset. Direct, I'll insert data in dataset. And I'll comment this 4 lines. Because of this, every time I have to say okay for 4 times. Okay, anyways, here I'll input one record. Here. Direct, no, not from dataset. Record will be like XYZ 3333. Now what should happen, when I click on update changes, this row is there now. This row, it will be stored into where? Database. That row will be stored into database. Connecting with that row, you'll have ID generated in backend. That ID you should get here. Here. The moment I click on update changes, here it should get a value as 12. For that, we are writing the logic now. So in order to do this, remember, your data set is provided or data adapter has been provided with one special event, which is called row updated event. Row updated event. So again, form load event, go there, come down. Okay, somewhere here only I'll write here. What I should do, DA dot data adapter dot. Which event you said? Row updated event. There should be a method available for this event. Method plus equal to. Now you'll get bracket mate is mentioned. Press tab to insert. Press tab to insert tab. Here you have. Click on apply. Yes, method is generated now. Come down. You'll have a method. Row updated event method. Yes. Now, once you get this row updated event method, what is the operation you did? Operation insert. I said I'll insert a row in the data set. Then I click on update changes. That update changes will insert row in backend. That backend row will have one ID automatically generated. That ID I should get again into my data set. That's what we want. Interesting is you are doing insert operation. E dot E is SQL row updated event args object. Statement type is equal to statement type dot insert block open. Now you should write SQL command cmd equal to new SQL command select @ identity comma e dot command dot connection. Yes, semicolon. @ identity, I already have explained you in managed provider. This is to get identity value. And where do you want this? In dataset. E dot row of emp id is equal to cmd dot execute scalar, because @ identity will return only one value. For that reason, execute scalar. cmb empid dot items dot add e dot row of empid. That's it. Run the code, and whatever we want, that process will happen now. Run. Okay, I'll comment this first because I don't want to run this. These three lines you have to comment. That is the reason it is every time giving us. Go to up also. There also you have one statement. This line, comment. Okay, anyways, now you run direct output I'll get. Yes. Now insert a row now. Insert a row. This is row. Employee name. Salary 3333. Update changes 12. Go on top. 12 added. Selected 12. I'll get the values here. 12. That's it. This is value generated in actually backend. We brought it to front end using which process? This state, these three statements. In which scenario you work? Insert scenario. Where you are updating a row? In backend. Row updated in backend. Through which object? Data adapter object. Data adapter object. Another scenario. Okay. Now, this is about what? Row updated event. Now, next part that we'll see is about how to handle concurrency. Concurrency. Concurrency is what? If this application simultaneously gets used by multiple users, how does it react? See, I'll show you first what happens. Execute the code. Okay, output is produced. Don't do anything. Just keep this as it is. Go to Visual Studio again. Yeah, again I came to Visual Studio. Already output window is here. Here. I'm not closing this. Okay. Re-execute the code one more time. Yes, two windows you have now. Two windows. This is one window. This is another window. Two windows. Two. Now I'm talking about. But this is single machine now. Single machine. Single system. So obviously when you talk about single system, I don't have, the only thing is I'm supposed to execute my application for multiple times. Real time what will happen? You all will be working on database from different machines. Then there the process will be same only, but only approach is you'll be working from your personal computer. Here I'm going to work with two times executing the application. So now we are going to learn what is concurrency issue in this. See, do one thing. Select this row now. This row. Somewhere I select this fifth row. Fifth row. Delete. Gone. Okay. Go to another data. Still here it shows 5. Here it shows 5. This is deleted from local data set. This is data set applicable for this execution. Here also I'll delete. This is also deleted from local data set. Now story is, if I click on update changes, now fine. It means one user already deleted the row. Click on it. It's gone now. Fifth row is gone. Okay, gone. Come back. This user is not aware that someone has already deleted that row. He also says update changes. For him, it is error. Read the message. Concurrency violation. And you find a message DB concurrency exception. It means if this application is used by multiple users and if they are trying to perform operations simultaneously, this error will be generated. So to overcome this problem, now we have to introduce this line is there, override changes. I'll comment this and I'll introduce one more. cb.conflict option equal to conflict option dot compare all searchable values. Compare all searchable values. Okay. So now this is first point. Now, how do you handle that runtime error? That called DB concurrency exception. So that exception we are supposed to handle now. How to handle here? Update changes. Here DA dot update. I should introduce try block. Try. Then catch. DB concurrency exception EX block open message box dot show EX dot message semicolon data table dot clear. This will clear your all the content from data table. Again, you fresh fill the data. Fill into data set EMP. That's over. Now that error will be handled, and now for you, you never get that concurrency issue now, because whenever you update second time, try catch block will handle that, and your problem will be resolved. Same situation, but we may be losing our data. When you practice, you check it out. This logic, the way it works. This is one part. Okay. Now, next thing that we try is about data view. Data view, VIEW, view. Now, what I want to do, I want to have multiple grid views. Chalo. Now, copy this only. Okay. One more grid view. Now, two grid views we have. Okay. Two grid views. What I'm going to do, that is different story. But I have two grid views, and second grid view, I'll give a name. Right click, go to properties, come down. Here, I'll call GVEMP1. Okay. Save. This is GVEMP. This is GVEMP1. Now what I want is, I want to connect one data table to two grid views. Okay. We'll try. Go on top. Still go on top. Here. Here. GVEMP1 dot data source equal to DT. It means one data table connected to two grid views. One data table connected to two grid views. Go for it. Obviously, both will have same data. Yes, this and this same. Now, why I went like this, Okay, now you see the effect. Here, employee salary is there, EMP salary column is there. Put your mouse pointer on that column, EMP salary column heading. Click on it. It will arrange your data in ascending order. Yes, it is arranged in ascending order. When this is arranged in ascending order, this is also arranged in ascending order. I don't want like this. If I'm arranging the data in ascending order or in one grid view, the other grid view should not get disturbed. Should not get disturbed. Then only we'll be in a position to understand. Then only we'll be in a position to understand what with sorting how data looks like, without sorting how data looks like. There will be a comparison. You can have a comparison. But problem now is, whenever I'm trying to arrange this data in order, automatically other grid view is also arranging data in order. I don't want this. I want to have multiple views of my one single data table. So comment these two lines. I'll introduce two other lines now. Same, but approach I'll change. I mean to say that EMP dot data source equal to data table. This is same. GVEMP dot EMP1 dot data source equal to DT dot default view. Here also same thing, dot default view. It means both tables are connected by default with the default view. That is the reason these two statements, which I commented just now, are similar to these two statements. So I don't want this also. Comment this. Third technical right. GVEMP dot data source is equal to DT dot default view. Again, GVEMP1 dot data source equal to new data view of data table. This is new technique. Now see the difference. See the difference now. I'll arrange salary in order. Salary. Or names in order. Names. Yes, all these names are in order and this data is not disturbed. So now you are in a position to analyze. If data is in alphabetical order, looks like this. If data is not alphabetical order, looks like this. This is the data we are viewing based on name sorted. This is the data we are viewing based on ID sorted. Even you can filter also. Filtering the data. How do you filter? Okay, go to design. Here I'm going to put now a text box first. Place a text box. Somewhere here I keep text box. Go to properties. Give a name. TXT filter. Okay. Then place two buttons. Button. Again toolbox. Place a button. Right click, properties, text. Here I write. Here. Filter grid 1. For this I write. Properties. Filter grid 2. Select this. Go to properties. Now name. I'll write BTN filter grid 1. Then second, go to properties, BTN filter grid 2. Okay. Now double click on this button. Simple logic I'll write. DT dot default view dot row filter is equal to txt filter dot text. Bas, over. That's it. This will filter your first grid. Second grid you want. Double click on filter grid 2. You can't write same logic. You have to change this. Typecast. Data view. GVEMP1 dot data source. Then I should say dot row filter is equal to txt filter dot text. This is to sort. Also, this is to filter second grid. Save. Go for it. Here, what I want to get those employees whose name starts with A. So I write EMP name like percentage. Sorry, A percentage starts with A. 3 are there. 3. Here, one more. Same. Not like. Whether whose name doesn't start with A. Second filter. It's working. That's it. Even any condition, not necessary it should be named, you can write like this also. EMP salary greater than 4,000. 4 records are there. Greater than 4,000. 4,200, 6,200, 7,200, 9,200. So in one grid, you have filtered data of those employees whose name doesn't start with A. In another filter, we have filtered the data based on salary, whose salary is more than 1,000. That's it. Right. Now next. So I have to go with 2 more tables now, additional. Then only you can work with the next scenario. And what is next scenario? Now we are going to learn how to create a relationship between tables. So there is something called foreign key. There is something called foreign key. So that part we are going to study. So first we are supposed to create 2 tables. Already department EMP is there. I'll have 2 more. Add new table. Okay, table name I'll change. And I wantedly keep DEPTS. Department table name I change. Yes, here I should say department ID. And you want auto generated values for this. Auto generated values. So go to properties. F4. Identity specification is identity. Okay. Chalo, second column you need. Department name. Varchar 20. Department location. Varchar 20. That's it. Click on update. Update database. Close the table. Data I'll insert now. No. Second table. Refresh DEPTS. Right click, add new table. Now I'm going to create a table here. EMPS. You'll have EMP ID, EMP name, EMP salary, department ID, and employee ID. I want to have auto generated value. So identity specification, make it true. Identity is identity, make it true. That's it. Click on update. Successful. Close this. Now you have another table also. Refresh. Department EMPS. First open department. Show table data. ID you should not give. Department name I'll call HR Hyderabad. Sales, or we'll call IT, some location. Then sales, location. Then 4, account, ACCL, right? Account. Location, I'll call this as Secunderabad. But this is the data I have. 4 records. Refresh. Fine. All 4 records are perfectly stored. But IDs are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Go back to second table, EMPS. Okay. ID you should not give. Name A, salary 1000, department ID 3. B, 2000, department ID 2. C, 3000, department ID 4. D, 4000, department ID 1. E, 5000, department ID 3. F, 6000, department ID 3. G, department ID 2. H, 8000, department ID 1. I, 9000, department ID 3. J, 1010. 4 ones I'll give. 1111, department ID 4 I'll give. K, 2222, department ID I'll call as KL. 3333, department ID 2. M, 4444, department ID 4. Or 1 I'll give. 1. And last I'll say N, 5555, department ID 2. That's it. All together 14 rows I inserted now. Refresh. Perfect. Close this. Close this table. Now you want to establish relationship between those two tables by using C# application, referring to foreign key constraint class. So I won't disturb this application. Let this be as it is. I'll better add a new form, Solution Explorer. Right click on the project, then add Windows Form. Yes, continue with the default name, Form 2. Yes. Okay. Now you have to put 2 grid views. This is one grid view for departments table. Departments table. I'll make a copy of it. Second, this is for employees table. Name, properties. I'll give the grid view name. GV departments I'll give. GV grid view department. There also, second table. GV EMPS employees. Okay. Now you have to change startup form, Solution Explorer, program.cs. You have to change this to form 2 so that form 2 starts execution. This I've changed my startup object. Chalo, right. Now select the form. Achha, I have to set anchor tag for them. Go to properties, anchor, all 4 directions. Bottom right. Save. Save. Now select the form, double click. Form load event will come. Now you require SQL connection con equals to new SQL connection helper dot connection string. Oh, I should write namespace on the top. System dot data dot SQL client. Okay, I added this namespace. Save. Come down. Yes, already connection is created. Now you read data set. Data set ds equal to new data set constructor. Then you need 2 data adapters. Data adapter DA departments equal to new SQL data adapter query. Select department ID, department name, department location. What is the table name? DEPTS department, and bind the command with the connection. Semicolon. Same way, second query. SQL data adapter DA EMPS equal to new SQL data adapter. Select EMP ID, EMP salary, department ID. From EMP, bind the command EMPS. Then bind the command with the connection. Then you have to fill the data. da.departments.fill ds department. da.emps.fill data set ds emp. This is filling of data in both. Just connect them to 2 grid views. What you have to say first, to create 2 tables. Data table table 1 equal to ds.tables table name department. Then data table tab 2 is equal to ds.tables of EMPS. 2 days. Connect this to grid view. GV departments dot data source equal to table 1. Then GV EMPS dot data source equal to table 2. Table 1, table 2. Run the query. Now I should have both tables. Oh, some error is there. What is the error? Acha, 2 dots we got here. Dot fill. Okay, rerun the code again. Yes. Department table data, EMP table data. Do one thing. Select 3 here in department table. Delete. Got deleted. But here nothing happened. That's what we want to relate them. If I delete a record here, automatically, whatever the number of records we have related to third department, all should be deleted. If I update, these all should be updated. If I delete, it should all, those all records pointing to the department number should be deleted. But currently it is not happening. Okay, change the number then. Department ID. 1 is there, no? I'll say 1111. Nothing will happen here because we have not yet created relationship. We have not yet created relationship between tables. That's the reason we are not getting. Simple. Best. So tomorrow's class we'll discuss about how to create relationship, and even we are going to discuss about